Well, hello and welcome to the Strategic Automotive Marketing webinar. My name is Tony Wilcox and I'm a Senior Automotive Account Executive with Velasas Red Plum. Thanks for joining me today. I know you guys' time is valuable, so I'm going to be as brief as possible. The presentation should only last about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how many questions we get at the end. But if you want to have a longer offline discussion with me, my contact information is going to be at the bottom of most of these slides, and it can reach out to me when it's convenient. Also, if you come up with a question as I'm kind of going through the presentation, just type it in the comment section, and I will try to answer a few of those at the end, depending on the time. So before I get started, I want to give you some quick background on our company. I work for a division of a company called Harlan Clark, which is a $2.5 billion company with over 3,700 employees worldwide. And Harlan Clark is a leading provider of integrated payment solutions, marketing services, retail products for financial institutions, investment firms, business-to-business clients, and individual consumers, as well as small, medium, and large businesses serving multiple industries, including the automotive industry. So I work for one of the Harlan Clark companies called Velasas, which is a provider of print, digital, and point-of-sale marketing solutions here in the U.S. We're the country's largest single direct mail provider, and we've been in business for over 46 years. We're actually the U.S. Postal Service's largest customer. Red Plum Automotive is the Velasas brand that works with dealers, distributors, and manufacturers in the automotive vertical to reach the local targets at the neighborhood household level. So what makes a successful marketing campaign? Our experience shows that a successful marketing campaign is made up of three primary elements, and those are a value proposition, reach, and frequency. So the value proposition to us is the creation of a creative message that includes a compelling and aggressive offer that's presented in an attractive, desirable format. So this is where we work with our clients and we make sure that we're presenting a strong enough set of offers to get the market to actually respond. Reach is what we consider pinpoint accurate delivery of that message to a large enough segment of the exact right consumers that have the highest propensity to actually buy the product or service that we're marketing. And then frequency is our ability to present the message enough times so that it can be sufficiently absorbed by the target audience. So those are the things that we strive to accomplish in every campaign so that we give our clients the absolute best opportunity to succeed. So how do we do it? How do we accomplish the three elements of value proposition, reach, and frequency? Well, we build these elements using a 90-day program where we'll schedule 3 to 12 events, 1 to 4 each month for at least a 3-month period. Here's how it works. First, we're going to meet with you and find out what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? What are you focusing on right now in your business? What are you trying to accomplish? Is there a certain type of inventory that you want to focus on? Do you have an objective from the factory that you need to hit? Are you helping to launch a new product or reach a new market segment? Is there any dealer co-op programs that you can take advantage of? Those kind of things. So then we're going to check off these three boxes a little bit out of order, and I'm going to focus on the reach element first here as I go through the presentation. But the way we set ourselves up to accomplish sufficient reach in the campaign is to use a strategy that we call own, defend, and acquire. We're going to define the three different target geographical zones around your dealership to help us target our audience correctly, making sure we get this message to the right people. So for the purpose of our campaign, we're going to call these zones own, defend, and acquire. So zone 1 is the area in your market that we want you to own. This is your immediate backyard, and it includes all of the zip codes that you're in right now in your business and the ones that immediately touch it. So we've outlined these zips in yellow in this particular example. Then zone 2 is the zone that we want to help you defend. These are the zip codes that touch zone 1, and it represents an area that you want to cover sufficiently to keep your competition at bay. And then zone 3 is the zone that we want to help you to acquire additional business. These are the zip codes that touch the defend zone, and then this is probably also where some of your closest competitors are in the marketplace. So own, defend, and acquire. With this strategy, we end up with three well-defined rings that outline the landscape of the market area. So once we've defined these zip codes, then we can drill down and look closer at the real demographic makeup at a more granular level. So the way we do this is by using our own proprietary system of crunching data in a way that allows us to view these geographical areas that we've created in a more granular, focused view as far as their demographics go. And this is really our secret sauce or our secret recipe. So several years ago, Velasys began developing a proprietary system that helps us identify smaller, more condensed areas that we call ATZs, or advertising target zones. So we spend upwards of $18 million a year purchasing additional data from sources like Nielsen, Dominion, Polk, Experian, TransUnion, DMV, the Postal Service, our own historical data, and then we layer all of that data over the zip code data that we have, and we create these profiles that allow us to tell what kind of people actually make up these different targeted zones. Then we're able to use that data from different sources, and we can aggregate it all in a way to come up with what we call an index demographic profile for each of these ATZs. So when I talk about an ATZ, or an advertising target zone, well, here's a graphic that'll give you kind of an expanded view of how it's created and what it means. So in this particular zip code example, there's 4 ATZs within it. The 3 shaded in orange represent a low index for the target demographic profile, while the one in red on the right indexes extremely high. So with this kind of indexing available with our system, we're able to determine which consumers in which ATZs have the highest propensity to buy a specific type of vehicle, like a new Toyota, for instance, or a new Honda, or a new truck, or an SUV, or a used vehicle. So these indexes are based on almost 100 different variables, including income, ethnicity, purchase history, home ownership, home values, credit score range, vehicle ownership, and many others. So this is how we create a unique demographic profile for your dealership, so we can identify and zero in on the target market that has the highest propensity to buy your dealership's particular product. It's really the most powerful tool that we have in accomplishing sufficient and effective reach in our campaigns. So before we talk about frequency, I want to pause and just say that a lot of what we do is designed around being able to quantify results as much as possible. So any response that we can measure as a campaign progresses is going to allow us to make more intelligent marketing decisions in the future with you. And that's one of the reasons that we create a performance profile during this process. We created a demographic profile, and now we want to create a performance profile. This is where we're going to take a look at how many cars have you been selling, not only in each zip code, but we're going to drill down even deeper and analyze how you've been performing in each ATZ. And then we're going to compare it to how your closest competitors have been performing in those ATZs as well. And if you're willing to share some of your own data like website traffic, repair order count, averages, and those kind of things, that'll help us establish a baseline that we can refer to after the campaign to come back and see how far we've been able to move the needle. Okay, so next we want to schedule and plan the frequency into the campaign and check off that box. So this is where we get out a calendar. We're going to discuss your event schedule, your budget, the different kinds of event themes you want to use to make sure that we present your message enough times to that particular target audience to create solid top-of-mind awareness. While we're looking at the calendar, we'll keep in mind any factory programs that you have available, any holiday selling opportunities, what your inventory availability is going to be, and anything else that might contribute to the success of your campaign. Then we can determine how much you want to invest based on the profile that we've created and the goals that you want to accomplish. Then once we have that kind of analysis done, we've checked off reach, we've checked off frequency, we've created a demographic and performance profile to plan those things, we've scheduled your events, then we can work on creating the value proposition for your campaign. This is where we're going to start working together on the campaign creative. We're going to determine which flyer format you want to use, at what different times, and which events. You can choose from the oversized mega sheet, which is the most effective flyer that we have, or what we call the big sheet. I'm going to go over the pricing of each of those in just a moment, and you can see the difference in them. But we'll determine what vehicles you want to advertise, new cars, used cars, rebates, discounts, finance offers, special programs that service offers, all those kind of things. Then once we have the creative done, we've checked off all three of those boxes now. We've achieved all of the elements for a successful campaign. So here I want to just show you a few different samples of what these kind of events look like from some of the other dealers that are on our program. We've got an entire team that is dedicated to the creative process so that we can design everything for you for each event. You're definitely welcome to use your own ad agency or in-house resources if you'd like, but we just try to ask that you try to follow the basic format that we've seen that's been so successful with our other dealers as they're performing well on the program. So finally, we've achieved the value proposition, the reach, and the frequency goals, and we're ready to launch your campaign using our delivery platform. We'll deliver with pinpoint accurate reach and sufficient frequency according to the plan that we've agreed on. That's how we're going to start driving traffic to your phones, your website, your showroom, and your service drive, and you guys can go to work selling cars, writing repair orders, and making money. So after 90 days, we've done all of these campaigns, we'll do a follow-up performance analysis, and then we can compare it to the baseline stats that we set up at the beginning. We can look at how far we're able to move the needle in the ATZ level, and then we'll have enough performance data to make some real intelligent, well-informed marketing decisions on how to tweak the program moving forward. Look, our goal with this program is to provide a powerful tool in your marketing arsenal that works consistently for you. We're not in this to sell our dealers some flyers and hope that it works good enough for you to buy it again. That's just not our game. We're looking for long-term relationships with dealers that benefit greatly from our program. It's that old thing where if you give me $1 and then I give you back $5, well, how long are we going to play that game? That's the kind of long-term relationship that we're working towards. All right, well, I know the big question here is about pricing. And before I go into it, I want to explain that our pricing structure is designed to give our dealers a lot of flexibility in how they set up these campaigns. We're able to make this program work with almost any new car dealership's budget. So here's how the pricing is set up. For the automotive division, we recommend using one or both of the two printed formats that we have available. And I want you to also be aware we have several digital products that we can talk about offline. We have an email product and a digital impressions product that are designed to work with this format, but our mail platform is our kind of our bread and butter and the standard where we want to start these campaigns. So if you want to have an offline conversation about digital, certainly give me a call and we can do that. So there's two different sizes of flyers. The mega sheet measures basically 11 by 12. The Southern California dealer rate is 0.028 cents per household. So you can reach households for less than 3 cents per household, or $28 per thousand. Now there's a minimum of 200,000 pieces for each of these events. So that would be $5,600 per event. We can do a print and hold feature for this particular product where we could basically print the 200,000, drop 100,000 of them 1 week, hold for 1 week, and then drop the other 100,000 after that. That's possible. I can have that discussion with you offline as well. We recommend 1 to 4 events monthly. So basically a $5,600 to $22,400 investment per month. If you use the big sheet in some of your scheduling, it measures basically 8 by 12, and that is a 4-color on the front, black and white on the back. The Southern California dealer rate for this piece is 0.026 cents per household, or $26 per thousand. It's a little bit less money. It has a lower minimum though, so you can print this flyer for 100,000 pieces, so $2,600 per event at the low end. We recommend 1 to 4 events monthly. Again, that would be a $2,600 to $10,400 per month investment. or any combination of these, two flyers along the 90-day program. You can certainly, combine the two formats during your campaign to achieve the budget goal that you're looking for. The only thing we want to stress is to make sure that you're scheduling enough frequency during the campaign so we can accomplish our performance goal. So now let's address some of the questions that have come through in the comment bar while we've been going on here. I've got time to answer a few of them. If I don't get to your question, shoot me an email with it or give me a call afterwards and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, somebody's got a question about junk mail. It's junk mail, nobody reads it. That's not really a question, that's an objection, but we get that all the time. First, I want to give you the facts, and then I want to give you some logic to go with the facts. The facts are the Red Plum weekly shared mail format has a 98% deliverability rate and an 80% readership rate and a 44% purchase response rate. And I can send you the details on the study that was done in 2014 to back those numbers up. But we have such a high readership level because of the shared mail package and what is in it. It shows up in the consumer's mailbox every single week. So it's a regularly occurring piece, and it contains tons of national brands that consumers are looking for, like Sprint, AT&T, Vons, Ralph's, Carl's Jr., LA Fitness, and many, many others. And so your dealership's advertisement will be packaged along with all of these other national brands. That's why it gets read, and that's why it gets looked at. Those are the facts. The logic is that there's always a portion of any marketing campaign that ends up as waste. That just happens. It's a given. So it's the same when you do any other direct mail program or email program for that matter, right? I mean, in most solo direct mail campaigns, dealers are happy with a 1% to 2% response. That means 98% of it ended up in the trash, but you're still doing direct mail. So if you think it's junk mail, that simply means you're not part of the intended audience. That's all. There is 80% of those people that do read it and are part of the intended audience. All right, another question. How does it get delivered? Okay, good question. So these flyers are inserted into our weekly Red Plum shared mail package, which is delivered to millions of households across the country every week. We've created the automotive products to be a bit larger so that they stand out from most of those other pieces that are in the package. The flyers are inserted along with all these other national and local brand name advertisers' pieces inside of a full color wrapper, and the entire package is delivered to the targeted ATZ by U.S. Postal Service. So it shows up weekly in the consumer's mailbox. It costs too much. All right, I don't actually get this one. Our program gives dealers a way to get into targeted consumers' households every week for less than 3 cents per household with an 80% readability rate. A good email campaign might be less expensive, but you'll typically only get a 15 to 18% open rate if you're lucky. And at 3 cents per household, Southern California dealers are paying a lot less than every other market in the country, which pays 4.5 to 5 cents per household for this exact same product. You go north of Bakersfield and east of California, and all the other markets in the rest of the U.S. are paying 4.5 to 5 cents, per household for the product. Pricing is just a non-issue. Okay, here's one more. Print is dead, and we're only using digital. All right, in one sense, you're right. Print is certainly dying, at least in the case of newspapers. We see their readability going down. The difference is this product isn't considered print. Just because it's on a printed piece of paper, it is not a true print medium. It's truly a unique format that's difficult for other mediums to compete with. It's a highly targeted saturation mail program with proven results. It's hard to say it's dead when we have about 200 dealers in Southern California alone using it week in and week out for almost the past 2 years. If it was dead, these guys wouldn't keep using it. They're not stupid, and neither are you. As far as digital is concerned, we're introducing several digital products, like I said earlier, to enhance the effectiveness of the shared mail platform. But that's subject for another webinar or an offline conversation. All right, it looks like that's most of the questions, so we'll conclude the presentation with that. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today. My contact information is on the screen right there. Please reach out to me if you have any additional questions or if you'd like to discuss campaign specifics offline. I'd love to provide you with a detailed proposal for your dealership, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you very much.